On that carpentry note, we now come back to where we are staging on the floor of the Nairobi Coffee Exchange. And with me right here is a very special guest. His name is Justus Kiago Solomon. He is the Deputy Managing Director here at KPCU. And we want to talk to him about all this coffee that you can see here. How has it fared within this period when we have been politicking towards the general elections and thereafter? Now, most recently, we saw the stock market crash recently in the face of political activity. Did that affect commodities? What has been the impact? Well, the man himself is right here to be able to give us the answer to that. Karibu sana, sir. First of all, good afternoon.
Afternoon to you.
Yeah, where exactly are we here today?
Well, let me say that in the coffee sector,
yes,
right now the activities that are going on in the field are very key to the coffee industry.
Yes.
Because right now the farmers are picking what they call the early crop. Picking the early crop, they need to mobilize the labor. Mobilizing labor at this time, it is very challenging.
Yes.
During the electioneering period. This one will affect most of the coffee growing areas.
Yes.
In Kiambu, Muranga, in all the Mount Kenya region and Abadeas, including Nyeri,
yes,
Meru, Embu.
Yes.
But then what will happen is that most of the top grade coffee will not be available in the market because most of it will end up drying in the trees. It will be sold in a form of grade called mbuni, which is not the superior grade.
Yes.
That is one.
Yes.
Then in the market, just before elections,
yes,
the auction had been suspended. So that because most of the coffee buyers, yes, are international coffee dealers.
Yes.
So they come into the country to buy coffee.
Yes.
During the electioneering period in July, the end of July, the auction was suspended. It was only reopened on 15th, yes, of August after elections.
Is there any way to be able to gauge how much money might have been, so to say, lost, not traded over that period that would have been made? Ballpark figures.
Well, it is in terms of billions because in one auction alone, yes, moves sometimes 3 billion shillings.
Wow.
So you can see what that means to the country. Now, then even towards the elections, yes, the prices were also suppressed because most of the international buyers were not coming.
Yes.
It had just peaked after elections. The prices immediately after on the sale number 29, yes, was actually among the highest we had because the international buyers had, yes, just flocked in. Yes. But now, with the coming back of elections, we are not likely to get the international buyers, so the prices will be very much suppressed. So the farmers are likely to lose on the prices that they could have gained, yes, during this period of high crop, yes, the low crop, yes, the early crop. Yes. So this is how the farmers are losing. Yes.
If you think about how we can make this sector resilient and how we can help farmers to avoid the troubles that they are going through now, and knowing that we have to go to the second election for the presidential, for the president's seat, what needs to happen so that we can start to see normalcy return? As a stakeholder, what would you say?
Maybe if the earlier the elections are held, the better, so that the farmers can go back to the field and pick their coffee. Yes. And also, we be able to get good prices so that we attract the international buyers who are coming to buy the coffee. I think that those are the two that I would propose. Yes. Yes.
While coffee is grown in central Kenya and some parts of the Rift Valley and that sort of thing, yeah, the labor that comes into this sector and a lot of the money that is then spent on paying people and that sort of thing brings in all Kenyans from all parts of the country. So it is indeed a sector that brings in everybody and everyone benefits from. Yes. What do you think needs to happen going forward so that we can say that this is a crop that is unifying the nation?
Coffee, for a very long time, has been the leading foreign exchange earner in this country. Yes. It's a major cash crop. Yes. And it spreads in 28 counties in this country. Yes. So it employs quite other than the direct labor, that it employs the farmer, and the cash flows on the...
Yes.
There are so many other sectors that are servicing this industry.
Yes.
We have the transporters of the coffee, we have the millers of the coffee, and so on and so forth. And also those people who repair the machineries that work on coffee, both at the farm level and even at the milling level. So there are a lot of labor, there's a lot of labor which is involved in the coffee value chain. And we need to it really employs quite a number of people in the coffee value chain.
Yes, finally, the question that usually is on everyone's mind, the fact that when we have elections and things like that, a lot of people, especially the foreigners, don't know what is happening. They assume we are fighting or that sort of thing. They consume Kenyan coffee, but don't really know the places where it comes from and that sort of thing. How do we go about giving these people a good picture of our country so that rather than being the country that has fights during elections, we literally brand ourselves the home of Kenyan coffee?
Well, first of all, we could encourage domestic, international tourism on coffee.
Yes.
So that they can come and visit those coffee growing areas.
Yes.
And when they come to visit those areas, maybe they can come during those periods when we don't have elections, and especially we can link up with our tourism sector, with these people visiting the coffee growing areas, not just visiting the coast, because most of the time they visit the coast and the wildlife, but we can extend the same to the coffee growing areas, because the coffee, Kenya coffee, is very popular globally. Most of the roasters in the world, they blend and they like to identify with the Kenyan coffee. So it will be very good if our tourist sector can look into that, so that they can be able to incorporate coffee growing areas as tourist sites.
Okay, indeed, sir. Thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us. That, of course, is Justus Kiago Solomon. He is the Deputy Managing Director here at KPCU, a man that we have been talking to about the coffee sector.